And welcome back to Saturday Agenda. I'm Joe Pinion. We're introducing what we're calling the whiff of the week. It's a major fail on the part of the media or our political system. And this week we are talking Hunter Biden. Let's run down what we do know and what we don't know. First, the laptop. It exists. Pretending that this laptop is a figment of people's imagination does a gross disservice to the American people. And dismissing the allegations outright is just as irresponsible as those who accept everything in the report in its entirety. What we don't know is a whole lot. We cannot have a free society if the deciding factor on when to cover a report is whether we like the candidate or if it hurts the candidate. But at the same time, we have to recognize the fact that there is a great deal of information that has still yet to come to bear. So what do we know? What don't we know? How will this impact the election? Will it sway the remaining 3 to 4% of undecided voters? We'll go to our panel. Dan Gaynor, he's the Vice President of Media Research Center, and Bobby Eberle is the Republican strategist and host of the 13-minute News Hour. Welcome to both of you. Dan, we've been through the ringer on this Hunter Biden story. I think Hunter Biden in general, Joe Biden was finally asked about it by a local station. Here's what he said. Well, actually, we don't have what he said, but I think realistically, when you talk about the issue with Hunter Biden, people pretending as if he's a rambunctious 17-year-old child when he's really a grown man that, by all accounts, has been leveraging his father's position for the purposes of having financial gain. What do you think this will do coming down the stretch, 10 days to go here on the electorate?
Well, I think what it's done is thoroughly undermined any residual faith in the major media. You've got the media covering for Biden like they're the PR agents for the Biden campaign. We did an analysis. Our current numbers through Thursday, 73 and a half hours of network time is since the Biden allegations have come out. And in that time, 16 minutes and 42 seconds about the issue at all. And zero seconds on ABC, which conveniently employs Jared Stephanopoulos, who, of course, is both a former Clinton flack and a current Democratic flack because he never really stopped working for the Democrats. That undermines the nature of journalism. Journalists are supposed to actually cover news, not cover it up.
Absolutely. And Bobby, Mike Huckabee was actually on Fox and Friends and said he should leave this alone. Check out that clip.
Republicans.
Yeah, it is a mistake because the average person doesn't understand it. It's too complicated. Right. And frankly, it doesn't matter to them. They care about their health care costs. They care about their taxes. They care about safety in their neighborhood, on their block, and in their yard. Focus on that. He wins the election by a landslide.
Yeah, so I'm inclined to agree with the governor here. I think, again, you talk about the pain and suffering on Main Street. You go back to 4 years ago, President Trump sailing into office on the strength of white, non-college educated voters who came out in record numbers to support his candidacy. What do you think? Should he be steering clear of this Hunter Biden fray, or should he actually double down here if he's trying to harden the base and drive out these hardcore supporters?
Well, Joe, and I appreciate being on the program. What I think is he needs a good balance, and I think he struck that at the debate the other night. He did very well. The core issues, the ones that people are driving, the economy, coronavirus, their security, things like that, he has to emphasize. There's no doubt about it. But he also made a great case bringing up little issues throughout the debate that I think are not only effective but very, very important. Because if you look at what the framers had in mind for impeachable offenses, this is it. This is corruption. This is foreign influence. This is pay for play. And Joe Biden is neck deep in it. So without getting into the weeds, I think the president does need to remind voters, undecided voters, this guy is corrupt and he should be disqualified from being president for doing this. It is a major deal. And I think, no offense to Governor Huckabee, I do think the American people are following this, not the details, not this transactions between Bobulinski and meetings and all of this stuff, but the fact that this story came out and was immediately buried by Facebook and Twitter made the American public curious. It's like, what is that? We hear about censoring, we hear about bias, but here's a news story. I mean, New York Times put out something about President Trump's taxes, which were illegally obtained. You can't do that kind of stuff. No one had any problem running that story. but this one's buried. What's it about? And if President Trump stays on high-level messages, high-level talking points about it, I think it could be very effective, because if people are undecided and they see that this guy is actually corrupt, that he was profiting as vice president with communist China, that's a really big deal, and he should talk about it.
Okay, friends, thanks so much for watching. And before you go, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you'll be notified. And here's a special video just for you so you can watch even more of the 13-minute news hour. And don't forget to check out GOPUSA.com for the best in conservative news and commentary. We'll see you next time.